Amazing Gracie. My Hawaiian beloved dropped me off at a car dealership in Kona with only my backpack and karma. I thought to myself that I'd better leave here today with this minivan or I'll be sleeping on the beach tonight. I found the minivan online and knew she was the one. 6 hours later, I was driving off the lot in my new home. I drove her straight to the car wash and spent the day cleaning her down by the beach. I was excited but nervous at the same time. I never lived in a van before. It turned out to be quite the experience. Amazing Gracie, what I named my new home on wheels, had the habit of not starting sometimes, and I never knew when that sometime would be. I would pull up to the store, go in, come out, and she would be dead. There wasn't anything I could do either. It wasn't the battery. I had to remember to back into every parking space just in case I got stuck. Maybe the thoughtful gift of the brand new emergency car kit I received from one of the employees at the car dealership as I was driving off the lot was not an act of kindness, rather pity and a foreshadow. Luckily, a mechanic I knew in the area came whenever I was stranded to help me. He was a lifesaver. However, after 4 attempts and a few $100s later trying to fix Gracie, the problem still existed. The last time I saw him, I jokingly said he was sabotaging my car so he could come rescue me. I never saw him again. I guess I hit the nail on the head. It was stressful to not know if your car was going to start once you stopped it. Drive-thrus became a priority. Christmas in my minivan. Beep, beep. Christmas 2019 was the most memorable Amazing Gracie stuck incident. Christmas Eve, I had camped out in a lava field by the highway, which was not very peaceful. I decided the next morning to go on an adventure with Karma and check out a new park up north. We left at 6 a.m., stopped at a Starbucks along the way, and ended up stranded. Luckily, we were stranded at a huge, beautiful outdoor shopping center. At least there was food and I could shop. We ended up meeting this nice man who offered to bring us to his daughter's house for Christmas dinner. The people in Hawaii are so gracious, aloha spirit at its finest. I declined, but he brought me food from Christmas dinner anyway. He lived close to the shopping center, and I was stranded for the long run, it appeared. He invited me to go paddleboarding, and I thought that I might as well take the invitation because it was better than sitting around. There was only so much shopping I wanted to do. It was a beautiful area and a body of water that I had not been in. I was grateful for the man's kindness. In the end, he even offered us an extra bedroom he had at his house. I was tempted at first. Having a nice, big, safe house to live in exchange for light housekeeping did sound comforting, but it felt like he was another lonely man on Guy Island trying to rescue me. I was done with being rescued and politely declined. I told him I didn't mind sleeping in my minivan. Plus, it would be peaceful since it was Christmas and no one would be in the shopping center. He towed my van to the backside of the parking lot so I could sleep in peace and made sure Amazing Gracie was under a light for safety and close enough to the stores. I got some dinner, brought it back to my van, and decided just for the heck of it, would try to start her. And just like that, Gracie started right up. I was so excited. I was going home. I could sleep somewhere I knew and felt comfortable. I ended up going to one of my favorite spots in Kona to camp. The spot is next to the Living Stones Church by the ocean. Since it was Christmas and everyone was home celebrating, I got a prime spot and hunkered in for the night. Shortly after I had settled in, a man in an SUV pulled up right next to me to camp. That made me nervous, especially since he parked so close to me. Creepy. Don't people understand about personal space? This was before social distancing, but common courtesy should have told the man to keep some distance. I went to sleep with one eye open, praying to Archangel Michael to keep Karma and I safe, and my surfboard on top of my van. Living in a minivan with this situation was really like walking in faith every single step of every single day. What I found was having a routine was really important to keep my spirits up and make living out of a minivan bearable. Also, being productive was really important for me too. I knew that this was not my final destination, to live in a minivan, God no. As much as I enjoyed the new adventure, it's not something I would choose to do again. One and done. I learned as I get older I appreciate and need certain things like a bed, bathroom, air conditioning, French press coffee, etc. When I was in my 20s and maybe even 30s, it was fun, but once I hit my 40s and 50s, I wanted the comforts of home. Sanity. So every day after I jumped in the ocean, took a shower at the beach, I would go to Starbucks for breakfast and work on my computer looking for employment. Karma would sleep under the table and catch my crumbs. I needed to plug in my laptop because it needed a new battery, so I was dependent on electricity. A simple thing like getting your battery and your Mac laptop replaced is not so simple on an island that's in the middle of the largest ocean and requires shipping more things. While sitting at Starbucks, I thought, how hard could it be to get a job? I have a college degree, graduated with honors, have a background in multiple different careers, finance, administrative, sales, health, fitness, wellness. I'm efficient, hardworking, conscientious, and from New York. I looked every day. I applied for every job, even ones I was overqualified for. I redid my resume, sent cover letters, went to a temp agency, went to an employment agency, and went in person applying for work. I applied for nanny, babysitting jobs. I even applied for boat crew on every stinking boat in Kona. I'm CPR certified, lifeguard trained, a personal trainer with a sunny disposition, and I still couldn't get a job. I was starting to feel like something was working against me. Serendipity. One night I was camping at Pine Trees Beach, my favorite spot to camp, and met this couple with a little boy who was camping too. I immediately connected with them. It turned out the woman was a massage therapist and yoga teacher at the Four Seasons, where I had just applied online for a different position. I really wanted to work there. She offered to put in a good word for me and gave me the contact of the woman to speak to for employment. I was so stoked. I made the calls and followed up, but another month went by. I started panicking. It was the middle of January and I really needed a job yesterday. In the meantime, I secured a place to live and moved in at the end of December. At least I had the safety and security of a house to live in. Even though it was just a room I was renting, it felt like the Taj Mahal compared to the minivan, and it was affordable. I made it my own Zen space. One night, my higher self woke me up in the middle of the night in January around 3 a.m. and put the thought in my mind to write an email to the woman at the Four Seasons. I thought, really? Now? Yup. So I got up, wrote her a letter, sent it, and went back to sleep. The letter. Dear Beth, Happy New Year, new decade of new beginnings. I am stoked to be here on this sacred magical island and excited to meet with you. I know you are super busy from what you have told me, and Melissa as well, and I know things run differently here in Hawaii compared to New York. I just thought I'd send a quick note to share a few things from my heart. It has been serendipitous that our paths have almost crossed. I had already been seeking employment with the Four Seasons when I met Melissa on 12/12, full moon at the beach. She told me about you and said she would pass my information along. Then 2 days later, I received an email from Cecilia in response to my job inquiry. She also told me she would forward my resume to you since you were looking for a certified personal trainer and wellness consultant. I was super excited and still am. For the last 20 years, I had to create and recreate myself over being a single, self-employed mother. I left the financial industry as a fully licensed financial consultant, making lots of money to follow my dreams. I became a yoga teacher and from there started my own business. I have helped and healed hundreds of people over the last 20 years. It has been the most rewarding career I have ever had. It is my divine purpose. Last October, I moved here from New York, leaving my clients, students, business, friends, and all I knew behind to follow my dreams again. Not easy to do alone. It has been quite an experience, sometimes very hard, and at times I question my decision. I have learned so much and have grown so much. This island has helped me to polish my rough edges. It has humbled me and taught me to dig deeper than I have ever had to before, emphasizing that if I want to be a spiritual teacher and the spark in people's soul fire, I must walk my talk 100%. I was probably at 90% before I moved here. I've come to learn the last 10% matters. After a tumultuous last year and a half, I have decided to stay and create a space of light and love here on this island. I haven't worked for anyone in nearly 20 years. The thought of having a boss was not one I entertained. I have never been excited to work for anyone until I found the Four Seasons. I have heard only good things about you and the company, and I am really excited to recreate myself again and start a new adventure and venture. The divine feminine energy of this island has also revealed to me that I must trust and have patience, which is not my best quality, I'll admit. I'm a go-getter, self-motivated, determined. I make things happen. This is not my first rodeo. I am 50 years young and at the peak of my career and life. However, time is running out for me. I made a choice to take a year off from my usual work to move here and finish writing my second book, but my resources are almost out and I will need to work very soon. I am interviewing at different places now to see what is the best fit. I really hope to meet with you and learn more about your program and the Four Seasons. From what Melissa and others have told me, it's a great place to work. Whatever happens, I trust in the higher path and broader perspective. I trust in Akua. Thank you for your time, Beth. Blessings on your day, and I look forward to hearing from you. With love, Soulfire. When I woke up a couple of hours later, I was so excited to see that she had read my email and responded. She told me she would call me later and have me come in for the interview process. We really hit it off, and I went through a month-long process of getting hired.